streets of Cincinnati. Welcome to the jungle! Let's go. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Stripes, 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 yeah. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in our Cincinnati, we gon' rise in in the jungle we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle dripping heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who they, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Blue day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounds, make the city howl. Now we beasting now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in in the jungle we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move dancing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo bottle, never stop it till the beast on beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move dancing on? Now who wanna move on? All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Kings of the North, baby. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to the AFC Championship game. I still can't believe that. I got to say it out loud to really believe that. That is awesome. Anyway, welcome to the show. Do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. I'm up to 1,470 subscribers. That is awesome. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys because if it wasn't for you guys, you no reason to do a show. So if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, why not? Go to the YouTube channel, Sports with Strawberries. Hit the bell for the subscription. Hit the button for the notification. And every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you like to support what I'm doing or make sure your comment gets read, give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. What's going on, everybody? The chat crew, Crypt Keeper, Richard, Joe, Crown, Marvin, Brad, who else is in there? Michael, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Hunter, you're in there too. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. I'll be getting to the comments here. And Terry, you're from San Antonio. What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome all and every Bengals fan. So welcome to the show. All right, guys, this is a really cool show. We have one of the stars from Tigress Talk. She was on Monday when we did the live video chats. She's Bengal Whitney. She's an awesome follower on Twitter. She's a huge Bengals fan. She's originally from here. She's down in nice and warm Florida now. She's not up here freezing like the rest of us are, but she's a great Bengals fan. Check her out. Here's Whitney.
Hey.
What's up?
Hi. What's up?
So is it nice and warm down there in Florida?
Actually, it's been cold and it's going to get down to 30 in a couple days.
Okay.
Or low.
It was 9 here today. 9.
Hush. That's better than that. I will say that.
All right, Whitney. So for people who don't know you, which I mean, I think people know you more than they know me. You got more followers than I do on Twitter and everything. So tell everybody where you're from, about Tigers talk, how you become a Bengal, all that cool stuff.
So I'm originally from the East Side. I know you're a West Sider. East Side. I want to see all my East Side people in the chat, by the way. I'm from Bethel, Ohio. And then moved to Northern Kentucky, and that's where I lived my whole life, was in the Cincinnati area until a couple years ago. Now I'm in Florida, soaking up the sun, trying to represent Cincinnati South.
There you go.
With my girl Jer Bear, who's in Tampa. So yeah, but I've been a lifelong Bengals fan. Only had one team. It's the only team I care about. I don't care about any other sport. It's all NFL, Bengals. That's it.
Exactly. So how did you become a Bengals fan? You're born into it. Your dad got you into it. Your mom got you into it. How did that come about?
I was baptized in some orange soda at 6 months. No.
The Orange Crush.
Yes.
The Orange Crush soda. There you go.
Yeah. No, it literally, my family was Bengals fans. And so I was telling you before the show, one of my very first pictures via classy Olin Mills.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a toddler, was in an orange Bengals outfit. I will pop it in the comments on Twitter later for you. But I've always been, since I could walk and talk, a Bengals
That's
fan.
awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So we were talking a little before the show, and we're both just kind of still in awe or shock,
mildly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I look at everything through orange-colored sunglasses, and I always tell Mrs. Ice and my kids, the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl next year. I always say it, and it's kind of tongue in cheek because eventually one of these days I thought I was going to be right. That's kind of my catchphrase. I say it every year. One of these years I'm going to be right, and I did really believe that there was a chance, but not a. Okay, because I was about to put a bet on it. All right, I literally drove down to Lawrenceburg. I was going to put a bet. I was going to go down to the sports book down there. I had $100. I was going to put it on for the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl. Well, they were closed. I wish I had done it now.
I guess so.
Yeah, I didn't. But I wasn't like fully, behind it because I didn't go back. So I thought there was a chance, but Whitney, it's reality. Like in Sunday, we're playing for the AFC Championship game. That's unbelievable.
I know. I log into Twitter every day just to read all the information, just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating or slipped something in my drink where I'm still tripping. But it is real. And I think this year what's special to me is, now I will give me and the ladies of Tigers Talk a little bit of credit, because before the season started, we all had some pretty optimistic predictions for the season. And it wasn't just being silly or just throwing good juju out in the world. It was really, I think we felt pretty dialed into what Zach was trying to do. And it, from maybe an intangible perspective, but if you look at who he was drafting through free agency, if you looked at who he was taking from the draft, there was a very common theme amongst all those players. They all had, backgrounds of being team captains and leadership roles, being held in high regard in terms of their character, or being a coach's kid, high football IQ. And you just saw, with as aggressive as they had been in free agency the last couple of years, then we bring in Joe Burrow, and then we get Chase. I just felt like this is going to come together, and it's going to come together fast. And it did. Now, they still have exceeded my expectations, but I think what I want all Bengals fans to do is really appreciate this year for what it is, because we went into this season with no expectations, really.
Exactly.
This will be the last year for that.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Starting next year, starting this very next season, our expectations are going to be set in a very different place. And, so I look at Kansas City Chiefs fans right now. those poor fans. Now there's a good and bad that comes to success, but if they don't go to the Super Bowl, they consider that a not so great season.
Right. And
You
that'll be
know,
us in a couple years.
thank
Hell, that'll be
you.
us next year.
So enjoy this for what it is, because it has been a magical ride, and we didn't expect it. So
No, and the cool thing is the national media is going to talk completely different about us next year. It's like Bridget and Greg Graves, oh, is the name here. So I'm getting sick of all the haters. I hope to punch the Chiefs in the mouth, then might get some respect. Who Dey, brother? And we're getting respect now, but next
yeah,
year we're going to get it even more, especially when we beat the Chiefs. I believe in speaking into existence. I think we're going to win. I really do, because there's no way, in my opinion, that we're going to give up 9 sacks again. The Chiefs have a good front four. It's no, I don't think it's as good as Tennessee Titans. And the Tennessee Titans, hats off to them, their front four is better than I thought it was. You know, theirs was really good.
absolutely.
And the thing is, Jackpot Joey Burrow does a really good job against teams where he's played them for the second time. That's the thing. He studies them, and he does even better the second time than he does the
He's like
first time.
Rain Man. Rain
Right.
Man.
Exactly.
He
And the
remembers
first time,
everything.
yeah, and the first time he came back from 14 points down twice and beat them.
Yeah. And we had 0 interceptions on Mahomes. I saw
We
that
should have
stat
had
today.
2 if
I
they would have
know.
caught him.
I know, but the fact is we had 0.
Right. Yep.
And I saw that stat, and it reminded me of that today. I saw Mahomes' record. What is it?
Mhm.
Like 20-3 winning if he has a game where he's not picked at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
And we're one of those 3 games,
Mhm.
and we still won.
And we still won.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, Hunter says here, and he said just watch the Chiefs podcast, and they're still blaming the loss on the refs. Maybe try stopping Chase. Exactly. And dude, me and Cap talked about this after the Chiefs game last time. It wasn't the ref. I mean, all those calls were legit. They couldn't stop our guys, except the only way they could do is they grabbed them. Those
They
were
panicked and
legit
held.
penalties. So, I mean, they cry all they want. Don't grab the guy. Learn how to cover him first.
Thank you. Thank you. And don't get yourself in that position. Now that's easy to say when you're on the good side of the penalties, but honestly, in this game, I don't think it's as relevant, because especially if you look at the first half, there were some calls that I thought were some pretty questionable ones
Mhm.
against us.
Right.
So we legit won. I do kind of love the narrative being put back out there, though. And I hope that those Chiefs fans just get louder, the ones that are blaming the refs, because that just gives our guys a little bit more fuel to say, let's make it no doubt this time. You got doubt?
Exactly.
Let's make it legit. So
It was legit before. I don't care what they say.
it was, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't want. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want any excuses. Oh, you beat us because no, we beat you. We kicked your ass. That's why we beat you.
Yeah.
Jeff Holmes here says Joe Burrow has proven this year that he's better than advertised. Don't you think? Yes. I mean, look, Whitney, and I've said this on the show a couple times this week, and I keep saying it. And people who watch me every day, I know it's repetitive, but I'm sorry. For Jackpot to take 9 sacks, I mean, technically 10, because one of the 10th one didn't count because of a penalty, but he took 9 official sacks, and to get up, flip the ball to the referee, move on to the next play, and not flinch. Whitney,
Yes,
Tom Brady doesn't do that. I mean, that's how you beat him. You sack him, and he's the GOAT. And that didn't affect Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not saying I think we should give up 9 sacks all the time. No, but I'm just saying that's unbelievable. That's a different mindset that
100%.
I don't know right now any quarterback has. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes last year in the Super Bowl. He got sacked a ton, and he didn't play very good.
Yeah.
Joe didn't crack under the
Joe
pressure.
has the thing, I firmly believe this because we've heard it too many times in interviews of people that's known him throughout his career from high school on. He gets better if he gets hit, I think. He is a
kinda wakes him
little
up.
bit of a maniac.
Yeah.
He's mental. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Tom Brady gets a bloody lip and starts whining to the refs and gets flagged. Our guy bounces up after going for that first down, gets hit a little bit and stands up, points to the end zone. And we all knew as fans when we saw that moment, right? What was
Mhm.
going to happen. We were going to win. We knew it because something flips in his brain. He goes from Jekyll to Hyde
Mhm.
in just a snap of a finger. And yeah, he's not scared to get hit. He kind of relishes it, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you watch the mic'd up on the Jacksonville game, you know, when we're down, he's like, all right, I'm tired of this beep. Time for me to take over. And he did.
Yeah.
That's when we started roaring back. And when they zero blitzed him and he put CJ Uzama in the position for Money Mac Shooter to kick the first of his, I think, 3 or 4 game winning field goals this year. He's like, you can't zero me. That's it. He's like, screw you guys. You can't touch me. I'm steel.
Yeah. It's exciting, dude.
It's awesome.
We've never seen anything like it.
I never have. I've like I said, I've been here for the Boomer years. I was young for the Ken Anderson years, but I've never seen a quarterback just keep getting up and fighting like Joe does. All right, Natty says, starting next year, the Bengals are a top 10 team coming into the year. They probably get more primetime games. Oh, absolutely. That's what they actually kind of shocked me this year, Whitney, is that we did so much and we're a young upcoming team. And they want to promote their young quarterbacks. That we didn't get any. We only had one Thursday night game. We didn't get anything flex to Sunday night. I thought for sure we would get something flex, but I guarantee you we're going to have 2 or 3 primetime or maybe 4 primetime games next year, especially when we win the Super Bowl.
Oh, when people say stuff like that, I can't.
I got to speak it into existence. I believe in that stuff.
That. Yeah, we'll get more primetime next year, and don't take it too personal. We are a smaller market.
Oh yeah.
But our market expands as our fan base expands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the Joe Burrow effect that we keep, mentioning is a real thing. So we'll get more next year. What I'm excited about as a Bengals fan is it was not too long ago before I was hoping we would not get a primetime game because we always freaking crumbled like a cookie in a primetime game. Now I'm like, bring it on. I don't care what time we play. I don't care what day of the week we play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many people are watching. Like, watch this. I want more people to see what our guys are capable of. So
right. That's kind of what you and me were talking about, before the show started. Like the differences to me between this team and the Marvin teams. And I love Marvin Lewis. I'm not talking bad about Marvin Lewis at all. I'm glad he brought us out of the 90s. He brought us to a different level that we hadn't been into in forever. But the players that Marvin brought in, it was more about talent. If you're talented, great. We'll bring it. If you had a little head problems or you weren't mentally there, it wasn't as big of a deal. And that's where Zach has said, we want the right guys in there. And like you said earlier in this broadcast, captains, guys who are icy, cool killers, that they don't just want to beat you. They want to stomp you. They want to do the gritty on your grave. That's what we have here. And I mean, from Joe Burrow to Evan McPherson, they're all flatline. They're all just like the experience isn't too big for them.
Yeah. And it's not just the coolness, because I don't think they all have that same mentality. Some of them get more hype than others. Some of them are whatever. But what I do think is these guys, again, high football IQ, but then also so unselfish. Look at how unselfish that team is. There's no ego, and that's hard to find, to get that many guys who are used to being leaders on their independent squads, to bring them all together and there not be some kind of like territorial, ego clash. There isn't, because they're all unselfish. And what I do love about Zach and what makes him a true leader is the fact that I think that's as important to him when he's scouting for a player as the numbers and the film and the skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crip here says, Miss Whitney, do you have a weird ritual that you do before Bengals games? LOL.
No. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I had something fun to share, but really I'm usually like rushing to get ready right before the game starts. I'm a hot mess. But I will change outfits like 3 or 4 times during a game if I freaking have.
Speaking of that, that's the funny thing is me and my son went to the last 2 playoff games, and I don't know if you saw a picture or not, but we wear the I don't have it with me there, but the bib overalls, the orange black bib overalls, and the Jackpot Joey hoodie and hat and everything. I'm like, we're gonna go to my dad's house and watch the game. We're wearing the exact same thing. I'm like, I'm a little superstitious. I'm like, I'm can't go to the game, but we're gonna wear the same freaking thing because we're undefeated in these overalls. I mean, we busted them out for the playoff game, and
hey, you gotta roll with something until it proves that it doesn't work anymore. You keep it up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not really superstitious, but I'm a little. I wear something, they keep winning. I'm gonna keep wearing it.
Yep.
Royal Flush Terry here says the Kansas City Chiefs logic makes no sense. When did NFL refs ever do anything in favor of the Bengals. He's got a point there. He's got a really good point. He
It's
brought
never
another one
happened.
up here. I want to scroll back out to this and talk about Zach Taylor. Check out Zach Taylor's first Bengals commercial. It's a new day, which he's right. And that's what Zach was trying to promote here. It's a new day. It's a new culture. It's new everything. We're changing stuff. And that's what he's done. I mean, he's literally changed between him and now it had a little bit to do with the Burrow effect. The Burrow effect is real.
Though, like, if he doesn't get coach of the year, I'm gonna roll my eyes into the back of my head, and I may not be able to find him again, but only because and this may sound like bias, all of it does because I'm a Bengals fan, but truly, if you're looking at it objectively, this guy didn't just change a team and their record. Like, we had the furthest to come. If you look at what we did last year and the year
Yes.
before that, we have the furthest to come, and we've come the furthest of anybody that he's competing with. I mean, LaFleur really like, oh, a 13-3 team to a 13-3 team. Good job. Just because Aaron Rodgers didn't bounce on him is the only reason why he's in the conversation. Who
Right.
cares? But like, with him, with Zach, he's also kind of changed the mindset of an entire fan base, an entire city. He's changed us into believers and pulled together a team that fights for each other in one season, really. Well, 3, but you know what I mean? From
It's
last
like
year to this year, night and day.
yeah, it's like Dan Orlovsky said on ESPN. There's not a whole lot of guys I actually do like on ESPN, but I actually like him. He said it's the biggest turnaround in NFL history.
Thank you.
I agree with him. I mean, because literally, there's so many videos that have been made, and I wish I could remember who made this, but it's an awesome video on YouTube, and it's about all the doubters, and how we shouldn't have, how dumb the Bengals were for drafting Jamar Chase when your quarterback just got his knee hurt and yada yada yada, and when at the beginning of the year, Zach Taylor was odds-on favorite to be the first coach fired. I mean,
Yeah.
literally. He goes
Yeah.
from the first coach being fired to go take his team to AFC Championship game. That right there, he should win Coach of the Year. I don't give a crap what Mike Vrabel did, with or without King Henry, who, by the way, sucked on Sunday. Just want to put that out there. It wasn't very good. But, I mean, it's true, though. I mean, what? Yes, yeah, he lost Henry. We have a team full. We got a second-year quarterback. We got a rookie wide receiver. We got a young head coach. We got a young defense full of free agents that they brought in this year, and they brought it all together to make it to the AFC Championship game. How is that not Coach of the Year?
I don't know, but the turnaround really is the biggest, like you said, and I think that should be the biggest factor of why he's Coach of the Year, to be quite honest. With the
Exactly.
franchise, by the way, which the media can't have talk out of both sides of their mouth. If you're going to sit there and I just saw the podcast again where everybody's talking about how Joe Burrow, he can't go to a championship because he's going to the Bengals. Oh God, he's going to the Bengals. They're going to ruin his career. The narrative is still going. Are the Bengals going to make it to the Super Bowl or possibly win this year? No, because it's the Bengals that he's with, so you can't talk like that. And then this coach get that same team that you talk trash about for so long, that same organization to the AFC Championship and not give the guy the credit.
Yeah, the other thing that's killing about the national media now is we gave up 9 sacks. They're like, oh, well, they gave 9 sacks to the Titans. What are they going to do to the Chiefs? I'm like, did you guys watch the last game we
Those
played the
defenses are
Chiefs?
totally different, first of all.
Yes. These national areas, I thought once we got into 4 games, they'd actually do a little bit of homework to actually figure out what the Bengals offensive line has done. Yes, last weekend they stunk. They were terrible, but I really don't think that's going to happen this weekend. Is it a great line? No, it's an okay line, but it's good enough to get Joe and the Bengals where we're at right now.
Well, 2 quick things. One, not every single one of those sacks are on the O-line.
Right.
We all
Yes, good
know
point.
that Joe Burrow likes to hang on to the ball because he is just knows that he can, if he has a half a second more, he's going to find someone open. He's aggressive with the ball. That's why he hangs on to it. It's one of my favorite traits of him. I like his. I don't want him to get sacked 9 times in a game,
No,
of
I don't
course.
either.
And our O-line needs to get better. But also, second point, we have the most cap space of anybody that made it into the playoffs.
Yep.
Tell me we're not sitting pretty. Tell me we're not sitting pretty.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we like we just talked about before, we are sitting like you said, perfect to do this multiple years. I mean, the Chiefs, they're like, oh, they're going back to the AFC Championship for the fourth straight year. Well, you know what? The Bengals in 4 years from now could be doing that. And I'm not
Oh,
kidding. That could literally happen.
it is no joke. We have our core established. We have our coach. We have our
Mhm.
core established, the core of our team. Most of it is young, and then we have the most cap space. Hello, dynasty. Here we come.
Oh.
Ah.
All right. Natty says, Jeff Whitney, do you think the Bengals being patient with Zach will help give other head coaches more time? No, I really don't. I mean, I think like Zach said, he goes, if I was anywhere else, I would have been fired. And Cap's been on here a couple times this year. Well, every Monday, but a lot of times saying this, that the Taylors weren't sure if they were going to come back next year or not. You know, three wins or whatever it was in the first year is not very good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's and that goes to where we all get irritated with Mike Brown and his patience with coaches. There's been times where we wish he'd fire people or change stuff. We got to give him credit. It worked. I mean, if they had changed something, who knows? We might not be here. So you got to give. And I know nobody wants to give Mike Brown credit, but you got to give the Brown family some
Mhm.
credit because they stuck with him.
Yeah. And I think that I get the impression that when Zach interviewed for this job, that he painted them a very accurate picture, was very honest with them
Mhm.
about what he wanted to do, that he wanted to make a change that wasn't just for winning games, a few more games this next season, but he wanted to build something that would last, like a
Mhm.
strong foundation that would
Mhm.
take you for, years
Right.
of systemic success. And so that change does not happen overnight. That means completely overhauling your entire roster, your entire
Right.
coaching staff.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, it's insane what he's been able to turn around and do in 3 seasons. 3
3. That's it.
breakneck speed.
Right.
So God bless them for buying into his vision in the first place and taking a chance on a young coach who wasn't even a coordinator before this, and then sticking with him
Right.
when it was time.
Jackpot Joey wants to know if you have a Jackpot Joey hoodie.
No, I don't.
You need to get one.
My life sucks.
Well, the thing is too, and you got to, and I'm gonna go back to the point of picking up or picking Jamar Chase, and I've brought this up on my show before too, and the Joe Burrow getting his knee injured was kind of a blessing in disguise because if he doesn't blow his knee out, we don't get Jamar Chase. We don't get Jamar Chase. I don't think we're here. I really don't. I think Jamar Chase has been that big of a game changer for this team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a huge impact player. And what I do think could happen, I don't think coaches will get bought more time, but one of the impacts that I think will happen across the NFL is that more teams will wake up to if you've got a special quarterback and
Hmm.
wide receiver connection, trying to bring those people back together, I think will happen more often.
Exactly. My boy Augie, he's a Bengals fan from New York. I don't know. Did you meet him? He was at the Holy Grail that Friday night.
Might
I don't know if you
have.
met.
I met so many people at the
Yeah,
mall.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
He's a
I
good
was
dude. He's a Bengals fan from New York. He says, "Who the ice? Love that all the media is sleeping on us. The boys will be pissed. Can't believe we're getting 7 points. This team is scared of nobody. We don't give a damn about the Chiefs." That's the thing too, and that's me. Cap keeps saying this too. It's like, come on, keep talking. Go ahead, keep doubting us. Keep doubting the Bengals. Joe
Yeah.
just keeps stacking up that chip, and that chip that's on his shoulder keeps getting bigger and bigger. He's like, all right, that's cool. You don't think we're gonna win? Okay, I got
I
you.
know.
We'll see what
That's
happens.
another thing I'm trying to hang on enjoying for a little bit longer because 'cause we're underdogs right now, and I kinda love it, but I don't think it's gonna last that long, guys, like, I just don't.
Tim says here Zach didn't win AFC Coach of the Year. He is my AFC Coach of the Year. I agree with you. I mean, it's silly that it's because it's the Bengals. I mean, and the thing that I said too this is the other thing. We got 3 guys up. We got Zach's up for Coach of the Year. We got Joe Burrow up for Comeback Player of the Year and possible MVP. And you got Jamar Chase for Rookie of the Year. Honestly, the only one I think we're winning, I think Jamar Chase is winning Rookie of the Year. I think Dak
I do
Prescott's going to
too.
win Comeback Player of the Year, which I think is complete bull crap. And
There's no way he should.
no,
You
I don't.
cannot give me an argument that makes that make sense.
No, who's had a better year? I mean, I really, and the silly thing is, and I kind of wish they would let the voting last in the playoffs, because this is the part of the year where it really counts,
Mhm.
And the thing is, if you look at what Joe Burrow did in the last 4 games of the year, get in the playoffs, we had to win 3 of those 4. And what
Yeah.
we did, we won three in a row. So when the crunch time happened and we had to get wins, Jackpot Joe Burrow and the Bengals stepped up and won. So
Yeah.
to me, right there, that's what an MVP does.
Thank you. And then also, coach of the year would be a bag or in the bag because it really the last odds I saw it was Vrabel versus Taylor. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
moment that we beat Vrabel,
Should have been
that
up. Okay, so we're
probably
sorry.
would have been a lock.
Give us that trophy back. We're gonna give it to Zach.
Yeah,
But honestly, I don't think anybody cares. They want to get that Lombardi, and that's one thing that
exactly.
Tyler Boyd said today on his Zoom interview is that they were talking about winning a Lombardi in training camp. That's what and Joe
Yeah,
Burrow even said.
yeah.
At the beginning of the year, our goal is to win Super Bowls here, to win championships. And the way to do
Mhm.
that is get in the playoffs. They've been talking about this. They believed it
Yeah.
from the get go. I mean, they were
Didn't we all get a little tipped off that it was gonna be a pretty okay season? We were onto something special when we had perfect attendance in OTAs. Like, isn't
thank
that the first
yes.
moment?
I,
First time?
I never did confirm this, but I think we might have been the only team that had that because it's voluntary. You don't have to show up.
Yeah,
Everybody bought it. Everybody showed up.
yeah. The buy-in is real.
Geez, I hate trying to read some of these names. I don't want to mess people's names up. Warren, Sear,
We're gonna call him warm.
Warren. There you go. All right. Hopefully, after those Chiefs fans began being loud last week against the Bills, their voices will be hoarse and not be able to be loud. No matter what, our Tigers will eat those Chiefs alive this weekend. Who day, baby?
I
Well, I
love
think
the
it's too.
energy.
And Bagel Jim has actually said this. For everybody who's going to the game, and God, I wish I was going, but everybody who's going to the game when the Chiefs are on offense, everybody in the stadium start that Who Dey chant. That'll piss all the Chiefs fans off, and they'll try to start doing the tomahawk chop, which is great. Then they'll be loud against their own freaking team. So
Yeah.
I love that idea that Jim has.
Psychological warfare, guys. Get hit
Right.
with it.
So that was Bagel Jim's idea. So I'm trying to get out there. If you guys are going, go shout that Who Dey out as loud as you can, especially when they're on offense.
Yes.
Edward Matthews, Shooter McPherson will score all our points Sunday. Oh,
I hope not.
I hope, yeah. I hope not. I think we gotta speak. We gotta get some touchdowns. That's the one thing. I really do think we got to put 40 on them. I really do, and that's one thing NFL Network. You're gonna put 40. Oh, actually, James Rapine, and he had this on his show today. Where I don't know the jackass's name. He's on Fox Sports 1 or something, and he's a Chiefs fan or whatever. And he's talking about, the Bengals are you got to put 40 on her. The Chiefs can put 50 on you. But I'm like he's giving us no shot at all. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to watch the whole video, go check out James Rapine's video. He put it out earlier today. But that's the thing. The Bengals can score with Chiefs. They came back twice from 14 points down.
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody forget that, Whitney? What's going on? Did I dream
don't
that?
forget.
I
The
know.
North remembers. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, too. So my thing is, I said this last night. I do believe that the way this game is setting up, that it might come down to may the best quarterback win that day. The best that day. I don't mean the best overall. History
Right.
has not been written or foretold, but the best quarterback that day or the guy that has the best game is kind of what I think is going to happen. And I do think we're going to have to put points on the board. Absolutely. But people don't forget, like, we do have a defense that's been balling out lately.
Yes. Thank
That
you.
offense of theirs is super hard to contain, but look what they did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think this is gonna be a different matchup. It does matter that we're in Arrowhead. It
Yes.
does matter that it's win or you're out. It's playoffs, that it's one game away from the Super Bowl. They're gonna be playing at a different level. They're gonna mentally be in a different place, and they're gonna be at home. So it is a different game. They're gonna play us differently because they've already seen us before, so they're gonna try to pull out some new tricks
Mm-hmm.
and have a different game plan because obviously their last one didn't work so well.
No,
But
seriously, I think their
I
plan.
do think we can score on them. If there's any guy that I trust to go toe to toe Patrick Mahomes, it's freaking Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
Daily
I,
jackpot.
I really think that they should really just not double team Chase and do the exact same thing they did last time. Just take it one on one. I think that worked out great last time. I think they should do it again. I mean, it was perfect last time.
Right.
All right. Mitch here says, so you think on the over as far as the points go? I still think it's going to be close. I really do think it's going to be a 7 to 3 point game. I think it's going to be close. So I don't know if I take the over, but I suck at betting, so that's why I usually don't do it. but I don't know about you, Whitney. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I do think it's going to be a close game. What's your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not much of a bettor either. But and also just like a lot of games, I could make an argument for it is going to be a shootout and it is going to be high scoring, or I could also make the argument it's going to be very similar to the first time that we met them just a few weeks ago. So I don't know. Don't take any betting advice from me.
Exactly.
That I can tell you.
Exactly. Mitch says, I think it's going to come down to that one defensive play that does it for us. Well, I'll tell you this. This is one thing I can almost guarantee. Whoever wins the turnover battle is probably going to win. That's in any almost 99% of every football game you ever play is you got to turn that ball over. And like we said before, we should have intercepted them twice. And I think the way these cornerbacks are playing, they're going to catch the ball this time. I really do. And I also think that Trey Henderson is going to be fully recovered from his concussion or whatever. And I think he's going to make a more of an impact than he did last week too, as well.
Yeah. I do think, well, like you said, we didn't have any interceptions on him the first time that we met, but our guys have gotten a little bit more opportunistic, and I think we'll pick him off.
Brandon said here, yes, agree. An X factor is our D. Can our D hold them under 30?
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. Yeah, I really do. I mean, to me, one thing that Mahomes did last week is he ran the ball a lot more. And I think the Bengals are going to try to it's going to be the same game plan. If he's going to try to run the ball, it's going to be the same game plan they have against Lamar Jackson. Where Lamar Jackson last couple of years, he hasn't run that much on us. We've been able to keep him in the pocket and putting pressure on him without him being able to step up and run. I think that's going to be a lot of what the game plan is going to be this week as well. And if you keep him in there and now let him get outside the pocket and make these crazy throws that he's known for, which, I mean, hey, Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. I'm not denying that whatsoever. He can make some of the craziest throws I've ever seen in my life. Sidearm it, throw it underhand, whatever. If you can keep him in the pocket, I think that bodes well for our defense and trying to hold him to under 30 points.
Yeah. The good news is we've seen this Bengals team win in a lot of different ways. And so I think that's also part of the reason why it's hard to predict how a game is going to go with them, because it's so dependent on what that other offense and defense gives us or shows to us. But what I have a little bit more faith in than I have in any prior years is that our guys adjust on the fly and they learn moment to moment and they pick up on tendencies and they read stuff really quickly and they start figuring things out. I mean, ideally we get ahead early.
Yes.
So that we can play our game plan. And so that we can keep them on the sidelines a little bit longer and all of that. But also we were down 14-0 twice in the last time that we played them and we still managed to pull it off. So this team is never out of it. No matter how this game rolls out. So I don't know. I just can't wait. Is it freaking Sunday yet?
Oh, dude, this is the longest week ever. I'm just like, man, today's Friday, right? Now I'm like, crap, it's Thursday. Daggone it. Come on. Well, one thing I'll say too is that I like about Zach Taylor and this coaching staff is they are very good at making second half adjustments. And one thing that would drive me nuts about Marvin is he would never make second half adjustments. Plus, even if we deferred, to get the kick and you could get it, you score before halftime, you score coming out of halftime. That never worked for Marvin Lewis. We would go 3 and out, and we give the ball back to them. They go ahead and score, and then we come out in halftime. We go 3 and out again, and they go and score. It's like, damn it! But this team does that a lot of times this year.
Yeah, they're aggressive. And to your point earlier that you made before the show started, our old teams really seem to play not to lose. This team plays to win, steal your confidence, get your quarterback to retire.
All right. Bye, Ben. Bye, Ben.
Right.
It's
Oh, nobody's gonna miss you.
we're gonna miss you. I wish I had a terrible towel to wipe my ass with in here, but I don't have one. So I am not actually. Did you see? Did you see Zim's tweet today? He started out as it was the Titanic song, and and all of a sudden he goes, somebody popped on her psych, and then he just did a whole bunch of videos of Ben throwing interceptions. I cracked up laughing. I got to retweet this thing.
Oh,
So
he's been savage, more savage than usual lately.
exactly.
My theory last night was, did he hack into Eli Apple's Twitter account? Like, because it feels like the same energy, Zim and Eli.
Him and Eli,
They're like
Zim and
this.
Eli. That's Zim's doppelganger.
Right?
Exactly. But since I'm glad you bring up Eli Apple. I've been trying to give him a lot of props this week because guys at my work they drove me nuts. They're like, man, Eli Apple I was like, he had a great game and he had a pretty good year. I'm like, they look at me, he goes, he only made one play. I said, excuse me? Like, have you watched the games this year? I mean, I went to every single game and watched them all too. I'm like, he's made more than one play. I didn't say he was a Pro Bowler. I said he had a very good year and he's done very well. And he's made more than one freaking play.
Yeah.
Good.
If anybody's good at anybody watching this, or you, Jeff, I don't know if this is one of your skill sets, but if anybody is good at doing like video editing for clips, my challenge to someone is after the season is over, come what may, sometime in the off season, put together a video of Eli Apple's best plays for the season, and let's educate everybody on some of the clutch plays that he's made throughout the season, because I guarantee you it's more than one.
Yeah, Cap, are you listening? Because I know you're the
Yeah, Cap,
computer guy. Yeah,
get on.
Cap always watches my show. He doesn't just watch it when he's on. He's always watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
that
get
would
on
be
it,
great.
Cap.
Get on it, Cap. Come on.
We need this.
We'll get Jess. Just tweet at your girl Jess. Get her to do it. Get him to do it. I should say. But yeah, that'd be great because it's like actually it would help. Well, it would help Eli Apple in case he's getting more money and getting paid too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean he's and that's the thing too is guys like him to have a championship run have to step up. You have to have unexpected plays from unexpected players, and he's done that. I mean, because if he didn't step up and be a good cornerback, I don't know what we'd be doing this year. I mean, that's a bigger story than I think people are giving him credit for, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, people stick with a narrative too. So his season started out a little rocky. Okay.
Yeah, it did.
But he's proven himself game
Yeah.
after game after game, and he stuck with it. And I think he is really happy about the opportunity to play for a team that's had his back and believed in him and gave him an opportunity for a redemption story. And by the way, that's kind of the theme of this entire Bengals team. It's a redemption story. It's a redemption season. I saw someone's t-shirt the other day, the redemption tour, Cincinnati
That's
Bengals,
awesome.
2021. Hell yeah, that's exactly our vibe. So way to go, Eli.
Or change the narrative, one of the two.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon here says it's very important to take the crowd out of the game early. The crowd only matters when the offense is on the field.
Yep.
Don't give them no sacks early and no turnovers. Yeah. We get out early on them. These Kansas City, like, honestly, if we get out early on, these Chiefs fans are gonna be like, "What the hell happened?"
Well, the quickest way to shut up a home fan base or whatever stadium is to, start demoralizing their team on the field.
Right.
So the fans can do their part as best they can, the guys that are going there. But at the end of the day, if the guys start spanking them pretty early, then that'll shut them up.
Well, I got to tell you this story real quick. We were driving back because we drove down to Tennessee and drove back up. So we stopped at, I was starved. We stopped at Taco Bell somewhere in Tennessee. I don't remember where, I don't even know where we're at in Tennessee. Stopped, got some gas, got some food. So we walked in there and had the Bengal fans in there. And we're like, hey, we give high fives. Like, yeah, it's awesome. And we're all talking about the interception that we were like, oh, I was like, I still don't think it's an interception. Well, I was telling the guy. And there was us and like one other couple that was behind down there that were in the restaurant. And I wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden I heard this voice come from down there. He goes, it was an interception. The ball didn't move. I'm like, I look up and go, okay. I said, that's cool. I said, well, it doesn't really matter. We won anyway. And it started talking to the Bengals. I'm like, because I'm like,
shut him up, didn't it?
Oh, shut him up quick. He goes, agreed. Like, yeah, I mean, I wasn't, trust me, if we had lost that game, I'd be more pissed about that interception. But that how much fun is that as a Bengals fan to shut somebody up in like 2 words?
Yeah, I
We
know.
won. You didn't.
Yeah,
Hush.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I feel like I've got a little inner Joe starting to grow where I'm kind of walking around like with a little bit more swagger. Maybe it's
Get
the
your
glasses I
chest
got.
puffed out, get that little swag. We all need to get the sunglasses.
Oh, I
Yes.
got them.
Oh, you got them? I wish I would have got them because Yaz did a great video of all the Bengals fans got. You got. Oh, there you go.
Hell
Some out,
yeah.
baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think the fan base got, like, at least 30% cooler this season. All of us.
Exactly. Oh well, we were cool anyway. We just now everybody knows how cool we are.
It's true. That's true.
Let's see here. Let's see. Brad here. Bates starts the game off with an interception like in Tennessee. I guess that's his prediction. And that's another cool thing. That's the first play of the game. I mean,
First.
that's like we're gonna win. you know?
Well, and we essentially that meant not essentially, truly, we got the ball to start the first half, we got the
Right.
ball to start the second half.
Good
You
point.
improve your odds.
Exactly. Exactly. And the cool thing is Bates was like I said, speaking into existence. He talked about. He said he didn't know on the first play because DJ Reader said this in the after the game press conference that Bates is like, I'm gonna get one, and Jesse Bates hasn't had he's had a good year, but not as good as he did the year before that. But playoff Bates, give me playoff Bates. I'll take him. He has been balling out. Him
Yes,
and
he
Cheeto,
has.
that secondary has been playing great. And for Jesse Bates to make that play to start the game, saying, "Yeah, it's on." and,
I
and the
lost
funny thing is,
my mind.
I was going nuts. The funny thing is, I rewatched it on TV when I got home the next day, and the announcers literally said, "Tannehill has thrown an interception in however many games." Interception by Jesse Bates. I was like, that's
Wait,
awesome.
did somebody say interception? Gotcha. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, it was so good.
it was awesome. Foxy's in the chat. What's up, Foxy? He said, all I have to say is 2-0 in the AFC Championship games, which is true. The Bengals are 2-0 in the AFC Championship games. I hope we'll go 3-0. I know, excuse me. We're going 3-0. Gotta keep speaking to existence there.
Yes,
We're,
sir.
we're going 3-0.
Manifest.
Manifest it.
Manifest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon here says, talk about Marvin Lewis. Marvin, not the same. Maybe he's not talking about Marvin Lewis. So not the same as real fan bases, and that simulated noise is not even close to how loud
Obviously.
it will be at Arrowhead.
Of course.
Which,
We know.
yeah, I mean, but like Joe said, he played in the SEC. It's not going to bother. I mean, people are like some people said on NFL Network, well, yeah, he played in the SEC, but not everybody did. Like, well, okay, Eli Apple played at Ohio State. Jenner Williams played at Alabama. T. Higgins played at Clemson. The only one that probably didn't play at a really big stadium that's huge. I mean, Mixon played at Oklahoma. I mean, Tyler Boyd played at Pittsburgh. That's the only one that's probably not a huge stadium. So the guys who are the important ones on your offense, they've all played in big stadiums. I don't think it's going to bother them. I really don't.
I mean, it's a real issue, but it's one that people contend with every single week in the NFL. Our
Right.
away game record, not that shabby this year if you go back and look. And also I just want to keep putting it out in the ether whenever I hear this. Joe did not make that comment in regards to this week's game or Arrowhead specifically. That is an old quote that people keep resurfacing. So it's not like he was talking trash like Arrowhead's no sweat. I don't care. I played in the SEC. That was not. That was an old quote, people. So like his point is valid though. I have experience playing in loud, hostile environments. So
I
we'll
think he said
figure it out.
last year. To be honest, I think that was a quote he said last year.
Yeah. It's old news.
Old news. Let's get to Tim here. Joe Burr, or however you say that nickname, is 7-0 when he's an underdog by 3 or more. Playoff teams that win in overtime are 7-18 the following round of the playoff. Let's go, Joey B. I like all the narrative. Yeah, that's a great stat. I mean, I might do other some more people read it. I mean, the narrative is all flowing for the Bengals. I mean, the emotional high that the Chiefs went through, to me, is bigger and it might take longer to come down from than what the Bengals did. Really, I mean, and plus the Bengals have an extra day. We put on Saturday, they put on Sundays. That stuff does matter.
It helps. I wouldn't want it to be the reverse.
No,
I know that. That's a
I'm
good thing.
I'm glad we're right where we're at. Royal Flush Terry says if Anarumo shuts down Mahomes, the Giants will hire him as their next head coach. No disrespect, but I hope Lou is the New York Giants head coach next year. Hey,
Well, if you put it that way, I guess I hope for it too.
right? Yeah, exactly. I hope he shuts them down too. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I want him to shut them down. So I mean, and that's the thing. Is like which me and Kieran talked about this yesterday. How ironic is it that Brian Callahan and Lou Anarumo are getting interviewed for head coaching jobs? They were about to get fired last year. What a difference a year makes.
Yes, it does. It's almost like building a real winning program takes more than one season, people.
What? Get out of
What?
here. I
I
know.
know.
Shocking. That's
Freaky
what
stat.
and that's what I said last year at the end of the year. Everybody kept asking me, "You think we should fire Zach? Do you think we should fire Zach?" And I kept saying no. I mean, the only time I said it was after the Ravens game last year. I said that because the last one they got demolished, and I was irritated. But I still had Zach's back. I never really wanted him fired. And I kept saying it takes more than 2 years to build this. And I really like what Zach is saying. And if you listen to what he's trying to build, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And it's come to fruition.
Yeah, we didn't have those perfect attendance OTAs for no reason. The guys were bought in. And that's what I was looking at to determine whether or not I was going to stay fully on board Team Zach Taylor or not. And it was observing how those guys talked about him. I mean, you couldn't bring up Taylor in a press conference without those guys looking like they were willing to jump in front of a freaking bus for that
Yes.
guy.
Yes.
And that does not happen. Like, people don't understand that does not happen very often with coaches. Like, there's guys that will be PC when asked about their coach. It's not going to throw their coach to the wolves or say anything detrimental to them. But that's not what our guys did. Our guys made it very clear what their position was Zach.
Yeah.
And then you could see it reflected in the practices and the attendance and all of that. So it was obvious that there was buy-in. And a buy-in isn't going to win you a championship, but you can't have a championship without it. You know, everybody's got to be on the same page. So
exactly, I agree with that completely. And that's what the other thing. I was like, the players are with him.
yeah,
You get the locker room behind you, and get the player. You get Joe Burrow with you. You know, that's pretty good. Todd here says, I think we have a better chance of losing Callahan than Lou. Well, I don't think you're correct there because Denver already hired another coach. I think that was the only one that Callahan got interviewed for. So I don't think we're losing Callahan. I mean, I don't want to lose either one, I'll be honest, but that's what happens when you start winning.
Mm-mm.
All right. Dave says, ask Whit if she will marry me. We'll wear those glasses on our wedding day in the 50-yard stadium.
No.
Sorry, guys. She's already taken. You can't.
Yep.
She's already married. So.
Yep. You know, a stat that I really quick before I forget it, I'm only going to bring this up because I will forget it, that people don't talk about very often is how we're the least penalized team in the league this year and what a turnaround that was. Right?
Exactly.
How frustrating has it been for the last decade being a Bengals fan and we shooting ourselves in the foot every
again Marvin Lewis teams? We would get penalties in the stupid. I mean, I love Burfict, but getting a penalty in 2015 for hitting.
If he blew his nose, he was going to get a penalty.
That's true.
Getting flagged for it.
And he didn't. I mean, he didn't help himself either. He would still do stupid crap. So
Absolutely.
I mean, if he was trying to help himself,
there was no mental toughness. The Steelers were able to goat us into a fight and doing stupid stuff every single time that we played them. And it became kind of known fact. You can get the Bengals to do something stupid if you want.
Yeah.
They'll fall for it. Talk about their mama just 2 times and they're gone. Like, it's over. Exactly. So it is nice, like this group of guys that we keep talking about and the intangibles that Zach obviously looks for, like the IQ and the character and all of that is paying off in big ways. And that's one. All the yards that we've managed to not give up this season because we don't have unnecessary penalties. It's amazing. I love it.
Exactly. Take a couple more here and then we'll get the heck out of here. But let's see. Marvin here says, as long as we have Jackpot Joey and Zach, we'll be fine. There'll be lots of prospects waiting to come here. There's going to be a lot of people in this offseason. It's going to be very interesting. Of free agents that want to come here. And if we lose Lou or somebody like that, coaches, which, I mean, I think he's going to promote from it within is what I think what Zach would do. But it's just going to be interesting to see how many guys want to come here. Because, I mean, remember, in the offseason, we had Kenny Galladay, which I'm kind of glad he didn't come here. But he tweeted out that he wanted to come here. Now I think it was to get more money from the Giants, and it worked for him as far as that goes. But he tweeted he wanted to come here, and it's a legit thing because of the Burrow effect.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an even a bigger effect this offseason.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it DJ Reader? And that was two free agent seasons ago that said that Burrow was one of his main reasons. And I believe I heard Hendrickson talk about that was part of his decision and all this. And that was before this season's monumental, surprising success. So, yeah.
Exactly. All right, Whit. Well, it's about almost 6:30. We've been on here for almost an hour. Do me a favor. Plug your podcast, plug your Twitter, and just stuff like that.
You guys can find me at Bengals Whitney on Twitter, spelled just like here. And then be with me and the girls on Tigers Talk podcast here on YouTube.
Which you have to make sure you follow all of them because you never know what day it's going to be on. That's what I was just talking about before we went on the show because I miss it half the time. Because it's because of Jess's schedule and stuff. She's a nurse, so we understand that. So
saving lives and stuff,
Yeah, I know. I mean, come on. Like, what's more important, saving lives or doing Tiger Stock? I mean, come on, seriously.
I don't know.
Jess has got to get her priorities together. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
All right, Whit. I appreciate you coming on. And who day?
Who day?
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. That was fun. Whitney is an awesome follow. Check her out on Twitter. Like I said, check them out on Tigers Podcast. You guys like girls who like football? Check them out because they know what they're talking about. It's a lot of fun to check it out. Like I said, halftime I miss it, and the best way to not miss it is go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. That's why I tell you to subscribe to mine. I've subscribed to theirs, but I'm sleeping half the time because I have to go to bed. I have to go to work so early. But I watch it the next day and make sure I give them a view. So make sure you go check out Tigers Talk and give Whitney a follow on Twitter. I would greatly appreciate it. And a couple people in the chat said they saw me on TV again. Yes, I was on TV again on Channel 9. But really cool. Talk about Jackpot Joey stuff. And they actually promoted my my podcast. So I shout out to Channel 9. I appreciate that very much. You guys awesome. You guys are awesome. Let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. As always, I appreciate every single one of them. They are Who Dey Nation, Who Dey Legion, Bearcat Country, Bearcat Ruckus, Cincinnati Reds, riding third, heading for home, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. And then you can follow me on all my social media all my social media spots, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trenopole. TikTok is at Iceman90. All you gotta do is type in Sports with Strawberry Ice. It'll pop up. Be the easiest thing to find it. Like I said, podcast. Hopefully, I'll be pulling the sound off. Still haven't done it yet. But when you guys start listening to the podcast again, make sure you rate, like, and review. Give me a 5-star review. Leave a comment so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, YouTubers, you guys are my originals, and I say this every show. If it wasn't for you guys watching, liking the show, sharing it out, telling your friends about it, I would not be able to do this. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like I said, I'm at 1,470. I've been doing this for 3 years now. This is awesome. I couldn't have done it without you guys. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Make sure, like I said, you you subscribe and tell your friends about it. And other than that, as my boy, who someday will come back on the show, for you old timers who know who this man is, Jeremy Dimebag These Nuts likes to remind all of you, remember one thing and one thing only, and that is you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Who Dey? And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. Stripes. orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, everything day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle drippin' heat, tigers strike the city streets. East side stand up, west side stand up. If you reppin' who day, time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle drippin'. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feastin' now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we unite and drippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange on 'em. Bingo bottle, never stopping till the beast of beastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen.